The 14th Amendment is one of the post-Civil War amendments to the U.S. Constitution that granted citizenship and equal protection to former slaves. It also contains a clause that says the validity of the public debt of the United States shall not be questioned. This clause was meant to ensure that the Union would pay its debts after the war and that the Confederate States would not be able to challenge them. The debt ceiling is a legal limit on how much money the federal government can borrow to pay its bills. It covers spending that Congress has already authorized, such as Social Security benefits, military salaries, interest on the national debt and tax refunds. The debt ceiling does not authorize new spending, but it allows the government to borrow money to pay for existing obligations. The 14th Amendment and the debt ceiling are related because some legal experts and politicians argue that the president has the authority to ignore or override the debt ceiling based on the amendment's public debt clause. They claim that this clause prohibits Congress from endangering the full faith and credit of the United States by refusing to raise the debt limit or by threatening to default on its obligations. However, this argument is controversial and has never been tested in court. No president has ever invoked the 14th Amendment to raise the debt ceiling without an act of Congress. The Supreme Court has also never ruled on whether the debt ceiling is constitutional or whether it violates the 14th Amendment. Moreover, some constitutional scholars and lawmakers disagree with this interpretation and say that only Congress has the power of the purse and can authorize borrowing. President Biden has recently hinted that he might consider using the 14th Amendment as a last resort if Congress fails to raise the debt ceiling before it runs out of money. However, he also acknowledged that this would likely trigger a legal challenge and a constitutional crisis. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has also dismissed this option as legally questionable and not a short-run solution. Therefore, using the 14th Amendment to resolve the debt ceiling crisis is a risky and uncertain strategy that could have serious consequences for the economy and the rule of law. It is not clear whether it would work or whether it would be challenged by Congress or the courts. The best way to avoid a default and protect the nation's creditworthiness is for Congress to act responsibly and raise or suspend the debt ceiling in a timely manner. The 14th Amendment is a constitutional amendment that was ratified after the Civil War. It is mostly known for granting citizenship rights and equal protection to former slaves, but it also has a section that relates to the nation's public debt.